Hi everybody, it's Professor Jim here at County College of Morris, Randolph, New Jersey. They're nice enough to supply the room for filming the YouTube videos for this series. Tonight we're starting with basic math, and we're going to be talking about orders of operation and rounding. That's where we'll start anyway, orders of operations and rounding. We set up orders of operations. This is a sequence, like when you go to your car, keys, you open the car door, you get out your keys, you open the car door, you unlock it rather, you open the door, you sit down, you close the door, you lock the door, you put on your seatbelt, of course, start the ignition, and then, continue on. That's a series of things. That's a lot more than 6 things that we're going to do math-wise. So we're going to start math-wise with order of operations. We'll start with P in PEMDAS. Some people call it, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Actually, a lot of people call it that. It's a way to remember. I don't know what they're excusing Aunt Sally for. I have no idea. But, it's just a way to remember things. So anyway, we would start with parentheses, and there's 3 types. There's the rounded ones that we do first. And then there's the squared off version of parentheses that we'll do second. And then there's these fancy parentheses, something like that we'll do third. Okay, so that's parentheses. Let's put a little something on the board. All right. Okay, there's a short order of operations math problem. Okay. All right, so first we're going to do what's in the brackets. And I'm keeping it simple. We didn't add any exponents or anything yet. So we'll do round the brackets first. 3 minus 1 is 2. Do a quick rewrite here. Whoops. Have to get those fancy brackets right. Okay, this is unscripted, so coming at you live. Okay. Next, there's no exponents. We'll talk about exponents in a minute. For this sample problem, we're not having exponents yet. So 5 times 2 will be next, multiplication's next. So this is our sequence. Just like the starting the car sequence. Okay, so next along the way is multiplying. 5 times 2 is 10. That handles the squared off brackets. And then from there we don't have to divide anything. And in this case, and then we'll add. So 4 plus 10 will be 14. Minus 3 will give us 11 for our answer. Nice and easy. Go round bracket, square bracket, fancy brackets. Okay, so that covers parentheses. We know how to multiply, we know how to divide, we know how to add, we know how to subtract. We'll do a little of multiplying when we get to rounding, and we'll also add when we get to rounding and subtract. Okay, so that's parentheses. Let's take a look at exponents for a minute. Okay, next from PEMDAS, which is now up there, is exponents. And exponents are pretty direct. There's a main number, or base, it's called. That's the main number. The number up on the right is the exponent or power. You can call it either one, they're interchangeable. Base is usually used for the larger shown, the number that's larger, shown as larger. Okay, so anyway, so what does this mean? Okay, the exponent tells us how many times to write down the main number, or the base. So in this case, it would show us write down the base twice. Then we multiply it, and we've got an answer. Okay, so where are the tricks? Okay, we remember we had those brackets? Okay, let's say we have the number -3 to the second power. Now, the negative, the subtraction sign's hanging out by itself, really. What we do with exponents for this, without any brackets, is we take the main number, the base, and we write it down as many times as the exponent shows to write it. And then we toss a subtraction sign in front of it. So -3 to the second power winds up being -9. Okay, now let's say we have brackets. This looks almost the same. So -3 to the second power, -3 is in the brackets. -3 in the brackets becomes the whole base, or the main number. 2 is still our exponent. So we write down -3 twice. Okay, -3 times -3 is +9. So they almost look the same, but they have totally different answers. They're the additive inverses officially of each other. You add them up, you get 0. So we have to keep an eye out exponent-wise for when there's no bracket. I was tutoring earlier in the afternoon, that came up. I was tutoring algebra, so this came up, and didn't get it right originally, but they have it now. Okay, so that's exponents. Multiply, divide, add, subtract, pretty straightforward. Okay, let's look at rounding. All right. Okay, so we have our Hindu-Arabic numerals. That's what we're using around, not the whole world, but a lot of it. And we're in base 10. All right, so each one of these numbers is a placeholder. Let's pick a number, any number. Okay, 91,856. For no apparent reason, that number came to mind, so I put it up here. I did say we were unscripted, right? Okay, so the last column is ones. Tens, hundreds, okay, so going right to left, we have the ones column, we have the tens column, we have the hundreds column, we have the 1,000s column, and we have the 10,000s column. Okay, so for rounding, they're going to tell us ahead of time which number they want rounded. So let's say they want it rounded to the nearest 1,000. What I do is I circle it, put an arrow, whatever works for you. Do what works for you math-wise. There's different ways of doing math, and we all have our own kind of style for that. So anyway, okay, so our focus number is thousands. Okay, now we have something to focus on. We go one to the right, and if this number is 5 or more, we increase our focus number by 1. If it's 4 or less, we keep it the same. Okay, so our focus number is 1. We look to the right, it's an 8. 8's obviously bigger than 5. 5 or more bounces our focus number up by 1. So our 91,856 now becomes 92,000. Put it over here. And that's our number rounded. Okay. All right. Okay, I think we forgot the Lamborghinis and the pyrotechnics tonight. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. Anyway, so rounding wise, let's say we want to add. Somebody's in the supermarket. They don't want to carry a calculator around with them. They have their phone. They're giving their phone a little break for a while. They go up and down the aisles. Let's just say they buy 5 things at the supermarket. Okay, so we can round it. So they're going to round it to dollars. All right, nearest dollars, all dollars, US dollars. Okay, so 397, our focus numbers are the ones column. Now we have decimals going on. So with decimals going on with the cents for US dollars, you might be watching this from another country that doesn't use US dollars. A lot of countries use their own money, of course. A few countries in the world use US dollars. Okay, so anyway, we have a 10th, this is base 10. So we have a 10th column, that's 1/10 of a dollar. And then we have the 100th column, 100th of a dollar. Can't buy anything really for that, but it's there for tax purposes and other things. Okay, so let's round it. We look at the 1, look 1 to the right, it's a 9, bigger than 5, we bounce this thing up. And then everything after our focus number, we make a 0. $5.14, a 1, well that's less than 5, so it's $5. And then we do the same thing for $3.23, call it 3. 9, $12. Round. Okay, so that's our rounding for those 3 items at the supermarket. Okay, so we have some rounding, and we have some PEMDAS and brackets, a little bit of exponents. There are a few tricks with exponents. Yes, it's math, right? So there's always something going on. I'll make it real quick. Anything to the first power, any number, 10, a million, 50 billion, is the number itself. So any number to the first power is the number itself. So if you have 10, 10 to the first is the same thing as saying 10. Sometimes they don't even bother putting, a lot of times we don't even bother putting the exponent there. And anything to the 0 power, whether it's 10 or 10 trillion, if it's a 0 power, it equals 1. So that's the end of video number 1. Thanks for tuning in. You can subscribe with the bell. Hi everybody, just wanted to give a few shout outs. I wanted to thank our sponsor, Luigi's Pizza, which is in Succothon, New Jersey on Route 10. Go see Paul, tell him I said hi. And now they have the traditional menu back, like the retro menu. And you can go see them. I also wanted to give a shout out to Santana's Hair Salon, which is also in Succothon at Roxbury Mall. And a quick shout out to Knight's Automotive, which is in Ledgewood section of Roxbury on Main Street for all your car and truck needs. Thanks.